movie rundown here. Today I'm going to show a 2018 action drama sci-fi film called Extinction. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. Peter stands on his apartment balcony as a bright light erupts from the night sky. Suddenly millions of laser beams strike the city, engulfing it in flames and destruction. And then Peter wakes up in his bed. It was all a dream. He wakes up to his wife Alice, who begs him to see a doctor. His nightmares are ruining their family. As Peter wraps up everything at work, he loses consciousness and slips into a dream-like state, dreaming up visions of an apocalypse. When he wakes up, he already missed the family time that he promised the girls. By the time he gets home, Alice is upset and confronts him. She is frustrated and then begs him again to seek professional help. This time Peter agrees. Later that night, he dreams of his daughter Lucy crying over two dead bodies, and then Hannah comes out carrying a gun. The next day, Peter finally sees the sleep specialist that his colleague, David, recommended. While he's waiting for his appointment, another patient strikes up a conversation with him and tells him that he's been having the same visions and that the staff there didn't want them to know. Confused, Peter stares at a painting in the lobby and then slips into another dream-like state. This time he dreams of a post-apocalyptic world where he and his wife and a group of people are carrying guns and surveying the city for survivors. Feeling terrified, he cancels his appointment and goes home to an upset Alice, who dismisses his theories of an apocalypse. Later that night, the family hosts a party to celebrate Alice's promotion at work. As Peter talks to one of their neighbours, Ray, flashes of light appear from the night sky. They watch as a single drone drops from the sky. As soon as it touches down, an enormous shock wave pushes them back into the apartment, breaking all the glass within miles. They recover from the wave and glance up in horror as they see 100 more drones drop from above. Peter and Ray quickly search the building for their daughters. Amidst the commotion, they find the girls stuck in the elevator and swiftly rescue them. Meanwhile, Alice hugs Lucy under the table. As they evade capture from the surveying drones, the family soon reunites in their home. As they try to come up with an escape plan, someone bangs on their door. They hide their daughters and then barricade their door. While they're forcing the intruder out, Lucy slips away to look for her beloved stuffed toy. She finds it under the dinner table and hugs it, paralyzed with fear. Suddenly laser beams penetrate the walls and then comes a sword. When they go back to their hiding place, they find out that Lucy is missing. By then a soldier had already made his way into their home. He finds Lucy under the table and examines her. Before the soldier can strike, Peter emerges and pins him down. They struggle on the floor. As Peter takes out his gun, Lucy escapes to her mother. While the soldier is distracted, Alice then intervenes, helping her husband by smashing debris on the soldier's helmet. The soldier falls to the floor unconscious. The family escapes, but finds the building swarming with soldiers. They carefully make their way to the rooftop and find their neighbours Ray and Samantha with their daughter Megan. As the family stand on the rooftop, they witness the devastation before them. The families crouch down and hide as another drone flies over to survey their building. Seeing no other means of escape, they hop on the window cleaner's platform on the side of the building. They slowly descend to the ground, but suddenly one of the bars gives in, with the other cable now threatening to break. They escape through a broken window in one of the lower floors, just in time as the entire platform collapses to the ground. Meanwhile, the soldier left at Peter's apartment regains consciousness and starts tracking his gun. As they take refuge in one of the rooms, Alice apologizes and asks him if he saw them die in his visions. He doesn't answer this, but instead focuses on fixing the soldier's gun so that they could use it. They formulate a plan to escape to Peter's factory, using the old tunnels that Alice was tasked to redesign. Out of nowhere, a blast hits them from outside the building. A drone fires at them, immediately killing Ray's wife and daughter. Peter's family makes a run for it. They manage to make it to the ground floor, but are stopped in a narrow hallway by two other soldiers with their guns. Peter is forced to rewire their gun on the spot, risking his life. He grabs an electrical cord from the opposite side and then completely reboots the gun. He shoots at the remaining soldiers, leaving them dead on the floor. The family makes it out of the building and out into the burning streets. They hide from rubble to rubble, barely escaping with their lives. Meanwhile, The revived soldier is tracking their steps and is close behind. Peter's family reaches the tunnel's entrance, and one by one they slip through. When Lucy's turn comes, she stops mid-run and stares at the incoming drone, paralysed with fear. Alice runs and scoops her daughter up and manages to make it to the entrance. Peter closes the door, and the drone spots them, firing several missiles at them and causing the entrance to cave in. Amidst the explosion, all of them make it out alive, but Alice is severely injured on her side. They carry her by the arm, limping as they try to make out the tunnel's complex system. Peter is losing hope. He knows if they don't get help soon, his wife isn't going to make it. They take a quick break, but fate won't let them this time. The soldier has caught up to them and attacks Peter from behind. They struggle for the gun, but Peter gains the upper hand and fires several shots at him. A cloud of dust impairs his vision as he tries to look for his enemy, firing random shots in the dark. Just then, the soldier emerges from the dust. Grabbing the gun, Peter catches a rock and starts bashing it into his head. The soldier surrenders into a corner and slips down. Peter confronts him, and surprisingly the soldier takes off his helmet, revealing himself to be a human being. Peter is shocked, thinking he was an alien monster all along. He threatens him with a gun and orders him to carry Alice together. They make it to the factory and meet up with David along with several more survivors. The girls cry as the medical team tries to revive their mother. Peter begs them to stop as he can't handle seeing his wife in any more pain. The medics inform Peter that it's too late to save his wife, but he doesn't accept it. Just then the soldier, who is now a captive, calls out, telling him that he can help her. Peter points the gun at the enemy, but he knows he doesn't have any choice. If he wants to save his wife, he has to gamble on a chance. He takes the chance and asks David to bring his daughters to the last train evacuating the city. He gives them a teary goodbye as his colleague drags the girls away. He then takes Alice and the soldier to one of the medics' rooms. He hands the soldier his Swiss Army knife, who then uses it to cut open Alice's wound. Peter begs him to go easy, but the man insists that there is no other way. As he opens up the wound, he tells Peter that it's just as bad as the medics say. Peter takes a look at his wife's wound and is shocked to see not just flesh, but wires, cords and visible electricity pumping through her body. The soldier looks at him equally confused and genuinely asks him if Peter doesn't know what he is. Peter can only shake his head and answer. The soldier then tells him that the only way to save her life would be to get power from another energy source, meaning Peter. But the gamble is that this might not also work, and the current might split and they will both be dead. But Peter knows that he should try as hard as he can, if not for him, for his daughters. He takes the knife and cuts a line into his chest. He's surprised to feel no enormous pain and is shocked to see the same wires and electricity running through his body. The soldier attaches a wire and connects Peter's body to Alice's. As they recharge, they experience the same visions, but this time it's revealed that Peter's visions were actual memories of the past. It turns out that Alice and Peter, who have fallen in love, were called synthetics, artificial intelligence, who looked like humans created by humans to serve all of humanity. The synthetics, wanting equal rights, started a revolution. Peter rescued Alice from human soldiers, killing one unintentionally with his bare hands. Together they fought side by side with the synthetic rebels and successfully drove away the humans to outer space. As the remaining synthetics survey the cities for survivors, Alice and Peter happen upon Hannah and Lucy, whose parents have died from the war, unable to leave the children behind. The couple adopts them as their own after the war. Most of the synthetics, including Peter, Alice and their adopted children, voluntarily had their memories replaced, so that they could stop living in fear and start living like a family, while others like David chose to keep their memories and prepare for the return of the humans. Peter wakes up and finds Alice alive. The gamble has paid off. The soldier introduces himself as Miles and tells Peter about the fate of humanity. After they were driven off by the synthetics, they had to settle in colonies on Mars. It took them years to rebuild their resources and to come back to take what was supposedly theirs, but now Miles knows that it's only half of the story. He helped them because he didn't know that when they came here they were going to be killing children and families, and that's not what he signed up for. Alice then wakes up telling Peter of her new revelations and frantically asks for the girls. Peter helps his wife up and takes one last look at the human who saved his wife's life. Peter thanks him for his kindness by telling him his name and giving him his Swiss Army knife, saying that it didn't belong to him anyway. Peter and Alice run deep into the tracks and are caught in a crossfire. The humans manage to take down a few, but the synthetics hold their force strong. With one last shot, Peter runs through the fire, grabbing Lucy's toy and a gun as he stands cover for Alice. Alice runs through the steel doors, followed closely by Peter. They run through the tunnels, just as the humans break through the fort. They reach the doors and run after the leaving train carrying their daughters. The girls run out of the train to meet them, sobbing and hugging them, with David trailing behind. David holds off the attackers as the family makes their way for the train. The four of them get on, and David jumps inside, firing several last shots at the humans. The train pulls away and the family hugs in tears, feeling relieved that they're all alive and safe. The train speeds out from the tunnel, and they look out through windows at the sunrise, seeing their once beloved city in flames and destruction, as the tracks detonate behind them, leaving no chance for their pursuers to follow them. Perhaps if humans realise that they're not so different from each other, they might have a future after all. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like. It really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.